Hello, I'm Doug Fullaway. I'm the Chief Financial Officer for a company called Sobrius. We provide substance abuse treatment services for people who have drug and alcohol problems. We're located in small towns in Southwest Virginia. We currently have two sites, and I'm sure we're going to have another one open in about 60 days and plan to open two or three every year for the next 5 years. Um, our company is obviously in a very interesting business in that the client who comes in for the care doesn't pay the bill. It's paid by Medicaid, and hence it's actually paid by insurance companies. So if you know anything about healthcare insurance billing and collecting, you know how life can be complex. We started the company in December of 2021, just about the time COVID hit. We struggled the first year because we couldn't hire contractors to do the work we needed. We couldn't get inspectors to come. We couldn't buy the materials we needed. So it was a long year. And that is actually when we started with NetSuite. Now, why, pray tell, did we do that? I had previously in my life been the chief executive officer of a company who provided software for the world of assisted living. And many of those are small mom and pop companies. And as they grow, they have two sites and then four sites and then 10 sites. And I observed so many times when my customers almost died when they got to about 10 sites because QuickBooks just didn't work anymore. You couldn't consolidate things, you couldn't deal with discrepancies. And I just said, I'm not going down that path as I try and grow this company. Sobrius. It was just very important to us as one of our critical strengths to be able to say we had a company that could scale. There is a huge problem in the United States. There are about 40 million people who have drug or alcohol problems that are very serious. Only about 6% of those people actually get help today. So there's a massive market opportunity there, but you can't scale a business unless you set it up from day one to do that. So we decided after looking around that we really needed a system that could scale. And that meant we needed two things. First, we needed software that had already proven it could work across multiple states and, if necessary, multiple countries. And second, we needed a team of people who could scale with us. So what happens if 6 months from now we get an opportunity to buy 5 sites in small towns in West Virginia and Southwest Virginia? Where do you hire bookkeepers? Where do you hire accountants? Hence, I went looking for a company that could help us by scaling and be able to grow our accounting capabilities almost instantaneously. And there weren't lots of them. I found many, but not who understood how to help us with a software package, and B, the actual growth of the company in handling everything. So we're a company that did over 7 million in revenue last year. We'll do closer to 15 this year. And I'm the only employee in the company who deals with accounting because everything else goes to theaccountingdepartment.com. It was pretty important to us to have somebody who knew how the software worked because I didn't have time to teach somebody, and two, could teach me things about how to use it more effectively. So we've been very happy with the results. Yeah, we struggled in the beginning, but through no fault of the accounting department, no fault of NetSuite. It was just a matter of we couldn't hire the people in this small town of Galax, Virginia, to do the work that summer of 2022 or 2021. And when we finally got the doors open, everything ran very smoothly. There's some things that have happened over time that have made me very comfortable about the decision of choosing NetSuite because it was not the least expensive solution when we started. It was by far not. But there's some things that happened along the way that have turned out to be extremely important to us that we couldn't have done with most other accounting systems. And so it was a good choice. But along the way, of course, I had to make sure the books got done every month, the bills got paid, the investors got notified. And I found that with the help of accounting department and the software together, we were able to do a great job. And we've been able to do a good job. We did struggle when about a year ago, all the insurance companies decided that, we'd done something wrong in getting our license and credentials from the state of Virginia. I got almost all of those companies to fix things instantly within 60 days. And so we got back on track. But one company actually owed us close to $1 million. And because I had absolutely outstanding records, and that I could present and make my case with to the last insurance company, I was able to negotiate close to $1 million advance against what they owed us because I had great records to show them. And they couldn't prove otherwise, and they were actually in violation of Virginia law. So the combination of great reporting, good solid records, and a team that could back up and answer all the questions made a big difference to us. Now we've got all that settled, and they've paid us what they owe us, and everything is good. So a couple things I would like anybody who's considering, working with the accounting department to ask about and think about. One is you're always going to run into things that you don't know about. And anytime I have a question, my weekly meeting, I bring it up with the team of people who meet with me, and they go off and research and come back with answers for me. And that gets translated into a nice clean set of reports. Recently, I went to renegotiate all of the outstanding debt we have as a company because we're producing a very nice net operating income now, a nice steady set of collections. We collect 93 cents on the dollar in 28 days. So I'm pretty happy about that. That meant I could go and approach some large national banks and ask for a loan. And in every case, people commented about my asking about, wow, your books are squeaky clean and easy to understand. And how did you do that? And I always explain to them, well, good software, and more importantly, very good conscientious company who's taking care of the books for us. So I can't say anything but good things. The biggest thing that's changed for me is just this ability to scale. I'm not worried about it when somebody approaches us and said, we'd like to talk to you about acquiring you. And so far we've said no to everybody. But, when they look at the books and we say, we're going to need this number, they kind of shake their head and say, yeah, you deserve that. And we probably can't pay it. So it's allowed us to be in a good, strong position as a company.